Hello friends, welcome to Pyramid Yuva Shakti Daily Meditation. I am Divya from Pyramid Yuva Shakti. So we are a team of budding youngsters who are here to spread about Anapanasati meditation, that is the simple breath meditation. And we are here to tell everyone that meditation is such a fun activity and you get everything through meditation, and it's not something which is related to particular age groups, and it can be done by everyone in this world. And in our sessions we have been listening to lot of members experiences, beautiful transformations undergone through meditation, and how their life has changed beautifully. And this digital media has given a great opportunity for us to collaborate with so many masters so easily. And today is the 41st day of our season 3. And we have with us Master Alekia from Delhi. She is the shining star behind a lot of major projects, and she is the major part working for Pyramid Meditation Channel Hindi and lot of other Pyramid Spiritual Societies movements, events organizing, and she is much into the backbone of the many activities and digital dhyana yagnas happening there in the North India. And we have also seen her interview with Patriji in one of her video screenings, and she's doing a great job. So today we are going to hear from her her beautiful spiritual journey and how exactly all of this started and how her life got transformed and what are the changes. And she's also a member where a lot of youth activities is going on in North India as part of PSSM and spiritual youth of PSSM. So let us hear from her, and through the journey, what are the projects she's working on and what are the changes you undergo and how it is to work for PSSM and much more things from her. So grand welcome, Alekia. Thank you for coming to our session.
Thank you so much for having me, Divya. Firstly, congratulations to all the Yuva Shakti team for putting together this wonderful initiative. And most importantly, to all the meditators and the seekers of truth who uh, give us the motivation to actually take up these, to create more and more of such of these initiatives, to remind us of why we do what we do and why we enjoy it so much more. One meditator also, if you're one youngster also, if you're able to teach meditation, gives us immense joy. Before I begin, I just wanted to point out. So, Divya, in case if there is any audio lag or if the internet is off, do let me know so I can just make the necessary modifications.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you. So, thank you very much for the very kind words that you used to give an introduction of mine. I think that is as nicely as it can be summed up about what I feel I would like to be introduced as. You know, everyone has a certain thing, whether you agree to it or not. You think, okay, you're doing everything selflessly, no doubt about it. But what is it that at least if you're not in spirituality, you ask yourself, what will you be remembered as? That's a lot of motivation for youngsters. So it's feels good to know that it's not me, but the work that we are doing that is recognized. Because again, what are we other than what we choose to do? So I think that actually lays the premise for how my spiritual journey started. My quest for the knowledge of the purpose of life was something that was always there. As a youngster, or rather as a child, I never believed in, or rather, my belief was more that there was one God, there was one single God that united and unified everything. However, I never understood why this so-called energy, because I didn't like the association with the word God, was so unfair and unjust. Why is it that there was inequality, there was warfare, there was ill treatment of women, or domination of men over women? And these things, as a child, I noticed, and I asked many questions. My mother tells me that I was a very talkative young child who always asked questions why. And as I grew older, of course, that because if as a child you're not given answers, even after a point, my parents, though they, of course, they tried and they gave me all the freedom that they could and as many answers that they understood best. um, Curiosity can only, answers from that come from the outside can only satisfy you till a point. Those questions are always endless when you've not found the real answer. As I grew older, I became, because became more averse to the way that society functions. I decided, I kind of became a recluse, and you could typecast me as a rebellious teenager. So I had constant scuffles with my parents because I was raised in an environment which was very simple. I was raised in a South Indian Brahmin household in metropolitan cities like Bombay and Delhi. So my lifestyle was very simple. However, when I went outside, the world outside was quite different. It was competitive, and of course, there was a lot of comparison. So I always felt there was a need, or rather, there was a level up that we're raised in. Knowingly or unknowingly, of course, that impacted me. However, because my inner journey and quest was always thirsty, because my questions never got answered, I just became a recluse. So I became averse to anything that people typecasted as good or right. My why quest as a child, now as a teenager, became why not. Why should not be smoking, or why should girls not be drinking, or why is it that only boys go out, and why is it that Brahmin households have girls in Brahmin households have to be in a certain way? Not even Brahmin households, why do girls have to be a certain way? Who defines these rules? Or something like, why should you do puja? uh, why do we have to study? Anything for that matter. So they're all the so or the all the whys, so became why not. Okay, why not give it a shot? So why not experiment with late night parties? Or why should you go in a certain way? So now why not? So that kind of, in now, so that's the thing about spirituality, is that you understand everything in retrospect. After everything has happened, now I understand all of those experiences. But as a teenager, of course, I was a rebellious youngster. And my education also was such that after my 12th grade, I was a really good student, or rather, I would say my basics were really strong. So I never put in too much hard work in my education. So I was trained as a dancer, and I was, I don't know, I was somehow put in drama and extracurricular. So I used to play tennis, I was in dance, I was always swimming, something. Basically, my parents had to engage me because I used to ask so many questions. So as a child, I was always raised with all of these extracurricular activities, which now, of course, I'm grateful for. But 10th grade, I got decent marks. And of course, the natural progression is that your teachers will tell you, take science. I said, no, I don't want to study science. I want to take the easy way. I was very clear, even as a youngster, that I don't want to put so much hard work in study. Because again, in South, what is it? You do science, you do engineering, then you get into a college, you 3 4 years, you'll do it. So there were certain patterns that I observed as a youngster during my, periodic summer vacations. And I didn't want to be in that that box. At least everything is a stereotype, but at that point I saw that as a stereotype. I didn't want to be part of it, so I decided I'll go do commerce. After 12th grade, of course, when I did commerce, I managed to get the average marks, which were sufficient. I but not Delhi University. About future, it's rather that the decision that I made was
So I think we'll get back to Alekia soon, as it is some signal problem.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes.
Sorry, I don't know why I got disconnected. Okay, so I ended up taking chartered accountancy. Now that is also an interesting turn, because when I spoke with my father's CA, he who eventually became my mentor, he told me that, the CA is a very practical subject. What you study in your books is what you get to implement in your every day, in your work life. That was actually a hook for me, because I always felt, if we have to study anything, any form of education or any form of learning should be such that you should be able to apply it in your life. And that led me to give my CA entrance exam. I cleared literally by 1 mark, and then my CA exams continued. And then I went on to do my articleship. Until then, like I said, my life was smooth flowing. I never really faced anything extreme. I was raised in a so-called sheltered environment, who lived in her own cocoon of the Ys and Why nots in my own head. So externally, there was not as such, but internally, of course, that conflict and turmoil was there. Unresolved conflict and turmoil. And I saw failure for the first time through my CA exams, because I had never seen failure until then. So I literally failed by 1 mark. And the beauty of CA exams is permutation combination. Paper, my group I passed, but the individual exam I failed. So, it was literally like it was an opportunity for me to see what can I really go through life in a, carefree manner, or rather in a so-called reckless manner. That's what. And at that point in time, as synchronicity works, my parents were introduced to meditation. My father was diagnosed with blood clots in his heart and his brain, and through a chance incident meeting with pyramid master in Nagpur, he learned of meditation. So my parents had started, and every weekend we used to have meditation classes in our house. And rebellious as I may have been, we have been raised in tradition of taking care of our guests. And whether I liked it or not, I still had to do it. And you could say that that's how we're born and bred. And I understand that that's something that comes very naturally if that's the culture and tradition that you've been raised in. So that was ingrained in us, that you have to take care of the people, whether you like it or not. You sleep on the floor if you have to, but you give your bed and you give the best to the. And when your cousins also come, your parents tell you go sleep outside. You give them the bed. I used to think why, but that just became a conditioning, and of course in a good way. Youngsters used to come, pyramid masters used to come to our house. And a beautiful thing that I noted, the Aditi Devo Bhava, yes. And the beautiful thing about when these pyramid masters used to come is meditation was very strange, because I never understood, or rather, I did not open myself up to the idea of understanding what Patri sir used to say at that point in the CD: my dear friends, my dear masters, and my dear gods. Because it were just bunch of youngsters who used to come to our house on Sunday and teach meditation. But the one thing that I really enjoyed was, after every meditation session, there was an experience sharing. So I got to see every individual's character in this journey, this drama, which I used to play a game inside my own head of everyone is a character in a movie. And whenever someone used to share their experience, it was something very deep, which I felt connected to say. And because I felt so strongly about humans being connected and justice being served, when I heard the individual transformational stories of masters through their meditation, the human emotion that got triggered of empathy, of genuine wonder, and got irked, was something that kind of triggered my curiosity towards meditation. However, as youngsters, until and unless circumstance puts you in a situation, you don't really start, unless you're someone who's experimentative, especially not for things like meditation, because there's a preconditioning that we are also like I said, how you've been raised in a traditional family, so you have to take care of your guests. In the same way, we are raised in an environment where meditation is either for oldies, or for oldies as in people who have retired, and they've done everything in their life. Now for time pass they start doing all of this satsangas and all, or you have to follow a guruji and babaji, or there's a cult. Basically, you're joining some form of organization and a cult. When these youngsters used to come to a house on weekends, none of these three criterias were being met. There was a Guruji who was speaking, but they didn't call him Guruji. They used to call him Patriji or Sir. I did not understand that. Otherwise, you call them Babaji or Guruji or something, right? There was there was definitely no cult, because the only thing that they spoke about is meditation. They didn't say sign any form, write a letter, or be a registration form for membership or anything. All there was there was experience sharing. So this, and there was of course no special clothing at all. They were just regular software engineers who had come from Bangalore, living in Delhi, and coming in just for the love of sharing the knowledge of meditation. They used to come to a house. One of them actually told me that the meditation is actually a science. So I said, okay, sure, okay. At that point, I just nodded my head because I wanted to maintain my rebellious character. But I went back and went online and I searched what is. So literally, my search words were science of meditation, and there were so many research papers that I ended up seeing. Like the blogs where people are saying that meditation really is wonderful. This actually, because, and like I said, at the same point in time I had also seen failure. So knowingly or unknowingly, whether you accept it or not, if you see, if a situation is not going as per the outcome that you have planned for yourself, fear creeps in. It's very natural. It's how human phenomenon works, because we've still not mastered our mind yet. Society works like that. So for me, at that point in time, fear kind of got instilled. Next, so but I also knew that meditation is not
So that was very interesting how Alekia got into meditation. And the situation she explained, and rightly she explained that until we are put in a situation, we never really try things like meditation. So yeah, Alekia, you can continue.
why it's disconnecting so many times. I apologize. It's not very seamless, I guess.
No problem.
Okay. So yeah, my story continued. I decided to experiment with meditation because I realized, okay, something's got to help me, or I got to help myself. So it started as an experiment. So 10 minutes before I sat for my studies and 10 minutes after I sat for my studies, I would meditate. And this I would do under a pyramid. Things that got triggered as a part of the process, of course, was when I used to sit. Naturally, I never studied for too much time, but I used to study maximum for 4 hours in a day through the method, and I had a lot of the other time to do stuff. And at that point in time, I think this was 2 years into meditation itself, that though 2 years actually into these youngsters coming to my house, that Patriji also had started to come. So he used to give books. He used to say, okay, read these books, write articles. So because I always enjoyed doing these extracurricular activities, I got extra time to do it also. So I used to go out, hang out with my friends and do these things. And my CA exam, very naturally, I passed. So what most people said, oh, it's very difficult, I thought it's not that difficult actually. And I thought, but it really wasn't just for me, but I thought that was the case with everyone. Same thing happened in final also. This was my second level. Then the same thing happened in my final exams also. It very naturally went through, and somewhere, what I realized through my own experiences as youngsters, if until and unless you really crave it, you won't do it. So I was put in a situation twice where circumstantially I took up meditation, but not because that real desire was there, because I was doing it for benefits, purely because if you do meditation, concentration power increases. If you do meditation, your efficiency increases. Only for these reasons I was doing meditation. And of course, there's a cause and effect. If you put in the effort, you will get the results. So I got the results. Meditation helped me lead a more smoother life in terms of achieving my material goals of okay, I want to do this, I want to increase my focus. I got focus. I was in Bombay. There was an incident where I had come back from a holiday, because Bombay is connected to so many places close by. I'd come back from Goa. It was a nice weekend trip, maybe a little prolonged, extended trip. And I was sitting by the beach, and I asked myself, and the trip got over, and there's just like this sadness that you feel once your trip is over and you come back, and you're like, oh, tomorrow onwards the regular routine will start again. And then I thought, okay, when will the next trip be? Okay, but okay, we've done all these places. I need more holidays so I can go to a further, like mountains, because Delhi now. Now I want to say, okay, I'll go from Delhi, I'll go to those mountains. Then I thought, no, you know what? I want to do scuba diving. Then I thought, no, I also want to do. So a lot of these bucket list adventures, activities that most of us aspire to do, I started to think of one after the other. And I thought, oh, okay, this trip, I need this much budget. All of this happening simultaneously. And suddenly in all of these thoughts, I realized, oh my God, when will this ever end? I'll keep wanting more holidays. I'll keep needing more money to go to travel, to keep. So it's like, so, and it will be short lived. I'll have to come back again. When will this stop? Or when will this end? Will there ever be a point where I'll just be traveling? And another thought in my own mind was, oh, I'll never be happy just traveling. It's so purposeless. If you don't work hard for that little while, your travel seems purposeless. So all of these thoughts were going on. And suddenly I just became so fed up with all of these thoughts. I realized there must be a way where I want peace. I don't want to think so much about something which I can't do anything about right now. I really want some peace. And of course, since I had got the beautiful gift of meditation, I was like, okay, I really want some peace. That is why that is why, and I actually, for the first time in my life, I sat in meditation, not to achieve anything, but just to let go of everything. And that was a beautiful experience, because to achieve things, there are so many things that you feel that you have to do. But to achieve peace of mind, there's nothing that you need to do. You just have to be. And meditation is such a simple process where it allows you to be you, truly you, without all the frills and thrills of what you should be, you want to be, you have to be for other people. You just are. It's just your natural state. And I experienced silence after a very long time, the one that I was yearning for, that was not triggered by something external, but just simply just relaxed. Silence, you can say, if you want to experience it in words, it's just simply I felt relaxed. After all, a heated discussion with my own self,
relaxation was such a relief. That is when actually I restarted my 40 days challenge. Not with the desire to achieve anything, just simply to put into a practice in my life to relax. Because staying in cities like metropolitan cities like Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, even for that matter, you're hardwired to keep doing things. We have to keep doing things to achieve things, to be able to attain a level, a position, a desired state for ourselves. But no one actually tells you to just relax. I mean, there are these WhatsApp quotations which say, be in the present moment, right now is all that you have. But how many of us have been given the tool to, or who knows the right way to be in the moment? And meditation is that beautiful way that I chose to experiment with for the next 40 days to see how do I inculcate that in my life. And the changes that I saw in my life were incredible. I was able to become aware of the times in the day when I was doing a task, or when I was anything in any situation where I became aware of that thought of where am I in the current moment? Am I completely in the present moment? Am I completely in the past moment? Or am I completely in the future moment? So something. This was something that was absolutely new for me because I realized that I'm not in the moment. I'm not really enjoying myself at all. I'm either trying to achieve something or I'm trying to run away from something. When are we completely in the moment at all? So then I said, okay, fine. Now is all that I have. Now is the only moment that is important. I can't regret what has already happened in the past. I can't change it. I can't plan 10 years down the line what will happen. Life is so unpredictable. The only thing that I can do is right now. Now, meditation, in that 1 hour that you do meditation, it's easy to come to the now. Okay, your breath, your mind is wandering, come back to your breath. Mind is wandering, come back to your breath. Some days, if you're already in a very elevated state, you're in that moment. You don't have to bring yourself back to the breath. You are with breath only. Sometimes you can experience emptiness. But what about the remaining 23 hours of the day? What am I doing in the remaining 23 hours of the day which enable me to have that 1 hour of great experience of meditation? That is when, so after the first 40 days, I became aware how I'm living my remaining 23 days of the life. So that is when the slow process of inner transformation started, where I understood the importance of Sajjan Sangatya, the company that I was keeping. While I may be really positive during my meditation, when I come out of meditation, the people that I'm choosing to surround myself with consciously, parents you are born with, okay. Again, for some people that also is a choice. But what kind of company am I choosing to keep around me that enabled me to be my better self, who helped me, who motivated me, who inspired me, who taught me things that I'm looking to learn. So I realized, okay, there were a lot of times I was hanging out with people just because, it could be people who were talking about topics. My friends only were talking about topics which were draining me of energy. So when I would sit in my meditation, I would see, okay, the same kind of thoughts are repeating again and again. So I realized, okay, it's harder for me to come back in the present moment and be with my breath because that 1 hour I had seen, 1 hour I heard that concept of that unnecessary gossip talk of someone, or complaining of, oh, that guy is like this person is like this, my life is always like this, just this kind of a conversation which is regressive in nature, which is not progressive but is regressive in nature. Then I realized, what kind of stuff am I watching on my phone? How much time am I actually spending on my phone? What kind of books am I reading? I was always a voracious reader. I used to love reading books. But what is right spiritual books? If I read a story kind of book, right, a classic, for example, let's say of Wuthering Heights, or let's say War and Peace, the beautiful imagination that gets triggered, it's there. What is my mind doing now? It, through the known patterns, it's creating different kinds of intricate stories of my own thoughts. So I'm creating these story patterns of thoughts inside my own mind. I'm not energizing my mind with more knowledge for intellectual growth. So I realized, okay, so I switched. So my first spiritual book was The Third Eye by Lobsang Rampa. And when I read this book, I saw the impact in my meditation. The sincerity with which Lobsang Rampa carried forward his own spiritual practices motivated and inspired me to go deeper in my own spiritual practices. This was beautiful because what I was doing in the time that I was not doing meditation enabled me in that 1 hour of doing meditation. So my concept or my approach towards meditation changed completely. It is not that 1 hour that I sit with myself that is meditative for me. Every task that I do in my life should be in a practice of meditation. So what actually happened through the process of becoming aware of these micro moments of now in my everyday life, I discovered a beautiful secret. It is the secret of flow, the flow of universe. There is only right here and right now. And there is eternity to explore. Eternity because every moment that I was unfolding about myself, every moment that I was unfolding about another person, every moment I was unfolding about the nature of reality. For example, if I was meeting some people in my life at that point in time, I understood why those people came into my life. What were the lessons that they're teaching in my life? I'll give you a few instances. There was a boss who came. I was working with Airtel at that point in time. I was positioned in Chennai. After a lot of international travel, I finally decided I wanted to domestic stay. I was in Chennai for 3 months, and my boss was stationed out of Delhi, and he was very harsh with me. And I had a team member, my counterpart, who was doing a similar activity and task in Madhya Pradesh. My boss was very harsh with me, whereas he was very lenient with that fellow. So obviously, the natural complaining thing is, why is this guy harsh with me only? Then suddenly, it got triggered. My mother, of course, I kept the right company. So my mother herself is a meditator. So if you keep the right company, they also trigger lessons, or rather they trigger the source of your learning process. They trigger that, they trigger that thing to say, okay, maybe you can go in this direction. So my mother said, if he is so harsh with you, why are you taking it so harshly and being harsh with him? So he kept saying, you are not, it is your job to inform me. It is not my job to follow up with you. It's a very simple thing. Okay. It's actually not that big a deal. He's my boss. He's not wrong. But I was also not wrong in that situation. At that point in time, I was just holding on to why he doesn't ask the other person, why is he asking me? Now, when through the beauty of Sajjan Sangatya, this my team member, my soul family member told me, okay, go in this direction. If you think he's creating a problem, why are you taking it as a problem? This offered me a moment. Now that now I'm back in this moment. Okay, what am I experiencing right now? I am experiencing being hurt. I am experiencing my ego being questioned. I am experiencing that someone doesn't give me the importance that I think I deserve. I am experiencing my expectation not being met. The minute I became aware of this thought, it became so simple. Okay, let go. Okay. What do I have to say? I'd have to say, yes, sir, sorry. You're right. I should have called you. I did not. I'm very sorry. That's all, right? It just takes a moment for you that by living in the now, you become aware. I became aware in that moment that I was holding on to stuff which is not in the now. I felt something like this because that person. No, it is now in this moment. There's nothing. He's absolutely right on his part. So this led me to make very good relations with that boss now, who actually later came into meditation. When I left the firm, he actually called me and he said, Alekhya, I remember you telling me about meditation. Can you please tell me more about meditation? I want to take up a course in meditation. So just by being in the present moment, how I became aware of how I was acting in those 23 hours, remaining 23 hours, enabled my meditation to become deeper. My spiritual practice towards understanding myself much better. So my inner transformation continued. My book reading went on to a point where I liked reading. You give me books, I could spend my whole day just reading books. Some days I would think, oh, just a life of reading is so beautiful. I connected very deeply with Patri sir on this point, even though I did not take him completely as a guru. Again, it's a paradox. There is no guru, but there is a guru. Who is a guru really? Everyone is a guru for that matter in your life, but there is also that one guru who enables you to take that quantum leap. So periodically I would whenever Patri sir would come to Delhi, we would share our experiences. I would ask him, what books are you reading? He would always very affectionately and very enthusiastically tell me what he would be reading. I still remember because in 2015, Patri sir at that point was reading Thinking and Destiny, which he's currently reading. I still remember he told me it is your life purpose to take this book to the world. Like that, he empowers everyone with these words because he thinks in terms of eternity. And while meditation enables us to live in the now, uh, to trigger to trigger the wisdom within you to live in eternity, we are blessed to be in the company of or to be associated with a master who lives in eternity in this physical body itself. So that's Patri sir. So he always used to say, okay, what is the hurry? What is the worry? And I used to say, okay, but you've kept a goal and a target as well. How do you want to achieve it? You're saying 2020, you'll spiritualize the earth and we are living, the world is spiritualized. Every nook and corner, people are talking about mental health or meditation and some form of spiritual practice or the other. It really is already spiritualized. But at that point in time, I never understood. But his words, of course, are very empowering because it gives you an opportunity to explore your highest potential, which your limited mind cannot see at that point in time. So in 2015, Patri sir said, thinking and destiny, that is your purpose. So I very excitedly bought the book and I started to make notes of the book and I realized, wow, okay, there's so much in this book. Just reading the preface itself and forward itself, I thought, oh, enlightenment has happened. I've understood. I'll connect with this fellow. It is the best. Of course, the book is literally all of creation explained in physical terms. So it is a life project, no doubt. What actually got triggered is when he used the words, while I shared this with you, I become aware of this fact that when he used the words, you were born for this, a sense of purpose is triggered in our life. While all of us are, when we say that we start doing meditation, we feel very happy that we want to share this knowledge with everyone. And we say, yes, that is my purpose. I want to spread meditation to one and all. Everyone does have specific projects, assignments, and individual soul experiences that it desires. That is why we've incarnated as individuals. That's the beauty of this individual consciousness as a part of this expanding group consciousness of PSSM. When he used this word, this is your life purpose, he suddenly gave me a direction once again to say, okay, all right, books. What do books represent? Books represent knowledge of spiritual science. And then immediately I saw the need at that point in time in North India was like in South, there's so many youngsters who've come. There are not many youngsters in North India who are demystifying spirituality. And what Patri sir had simply said through the book is think about your destiny. Who in this day, age, and time is asking us to think about destiny? Everyone says youth is the future, youth is the future, youth is the future. What the youth actually needs is the guidance to think about their destiny. This one sentence really triggered the process, and of course, the demand of the situation was that youngsters. A group was needed for youngsters to come together. So we started out as a magazine. So in 2015 end, we came up with a magazine called It's Yours. which was launched in GCSS and shared with everyone, where just like Spiritual India and Spiritual Science and Pyramid Dhyan Kasturi and Pyramid Dhyan Jagat, all magazines in different languages, we thought, okay, something different. No, youth wants to do something different, something experimentative. So we came up with this book. Book was received very well. We distributed it, but we realized we're youth. No one is going to pick up a magazine and read it. Digital ka zamana aane wala hai. You know it. You can tell 5 years down the line what's going to happen. So we said, okay, boss, this is not happening. Magazine is not happening. We were also offered opportunity for, printing costs and all the expenses will be taken care of. He said, oh, nothing. Doesn't matter. We'll take that up later. So we said, now what do we want to do? What PSSM as an organization we learned was experiential learning is the best way for a soul to explore and expand itself. That became our core ideology. So we as youngsters came together. We formed a group called Sensei, which is an acronym for Initiative of Seekers and Enablers of Self-Empowerment. And plus we just like the Japanese word sensei, which means master. And all of us are mastering some skill, or rather all of us are trying to master our mind. So that's how Sensei got formed. And we went to, our primary work is to schools and colleges to take meditation classes, where again, we try to innovate by building fixed curriculums. So we have a 3-module curriculum, preliminary, intermediate, and advanced, where we take different topics. Then we realize, okay, what is the next thing that youth get excited by? Music. Okay, let's make music, or let's just make music. So we went to public spaces and we just played music, random music, using different instruments. We painted signboards of free meditation, and we would make paper mache pyramids, hang them, make it attractive, get people, distribute pamphlets, make them sit in meditation right there. So just one thing that Sir triggered at that point in time: think about your destiny. This book is your purpose. That led, and your purpose, that the amount of confidence that he instills in you demands that you instill that confidence about yourself, within yourself, through your own actions. So we're like, okay, if he says it, why? If he says we can do it, and if he can do it, why can't we? That's the beauty of the youth. Why? Because we have lesser patterns to break in comparison to someone who's lived longer in the physical reality. So we broke those patterns. We didn't feel shy. We didn't care in the morning, in the night, how we are dressed. We just used to go. We're like, okay, give pamphlets. The more I would say the more colorful that we looked, the more easier it was to attract people. So that way we were able to go wherever there was a PSSM event in North India, we would just reach there. 2 days before we would do the campaign, a few weeks before we would go to the local schools and colleges and teach meditation. So that became kind of like a thrilling life for us. And while all things naturally progress, 2018 we came to Dhyanva Chakram. PSSM Media got launched, a Pyramid Meditation Channel. This huge media wing came into existence through the vision of Patriji's insights of what the future will be like. And it all comes from the no mind state. He's completely in an empty mind state. Because he's an empty mind state, there's no past, present, and future. He naturally knows. Because I have questioned him several times to say, how is it possible you don't have any experiences? You say you don't have experiences, hard to believe. I know you speak the truth, but it's still hard to believe. And then he would always say, because every time the same concept, he's able to innovate in a different way. So he said, no, I'm empty. So, and when I've had opportunities to travel with him very closely, I would observe him and I would see that really he's literally empty all the time. If he's not doing something, if he's not utilizing his time 100% productively, if he's just looking out, like recently I completed my North India trip with him, he would just look out into nothingness and he would just admire the beauty of it all by just being. So he was just like one of the other objects that was there in everything that was around. He was really living as pure, eternal consciousness. So he launched Pyramid Meditation channel. Wow, claps! Everything is wonderful, and we clapped for everyone. We said, "What a great initiative!" And suddenly in 2019, he came and he said, "Hindi mein chalu karo." And we're like, okay, cool. And we may be South Indians in North India, but Hindi is not a primary forte. It's still like there's Butler English. I don't know what the way would be for Butler Hindi. And my mother takes care of the Hindi magazine. But then again, she had some degrees in Hindi. We don't have that. And I'm a chartered accountant by profession. So when Sir said at that point in time, of course, it's always a choice that you have that's placed in front of you. If not you, there's always someone else who can do it. It's your choice to see whether you consider it to be your life purpose or not. And again, like Sensei, when he said, think about your destiny, he just gave it as an opportunity to say whether you want to fulfill your individual soul's purpose. Individually, collectively, PSSM is doing what it is doing. Individually, what is your soul purpose? What is your soul design? What is the soul experience that you desire? It is something that will come trigger from inside. So until 1 month last month rather, I continued to be part of both my job as a part of PwC as well as part of PMC Hindi. And finally, after 1.5 years, I was getting a strong calling from inside. You know what? I just want to completely only be working for PMC Hindi. I don't care from where the money is going to come from, because, of course, you are taken care of financially when you have a job. It's just something that, and then you can think, oh, okay, this is fine. My material life is taken care of. Now let me go and do this thing of spirituality where I'm fulfilling my passion. So it was always something that I saw separately in duality, where I said materiality existed separately, spirituality existed separately. I have from here to from my material life balances, I would add to my spiritual life lessons. But as it slowly became very clear that this duality existed only in my own mind. Life really is what it is. It's what you choose to make out of it. By being in the moment, you realize that there is no past, present, or future. It's all existing and happening simultaneously. The only thing you need to do is plan for the next 24 hours and have a vision to work towards. Because money is a form of energy which enables us to achieve, or which enables us in the same way that spiritual energy enables us to make any manifestation possible. It enables us. It is an intricate part of the energy grid, which is very much required when we live on this three-dimensional planet of Earth. And it is not to be looked down upon, nor is it to be given undue importance as well. It is like everything else. It exists. So when I became aware of this law, that everything is eternally consciousness, which is that everything exists. If you are aware of it, it exists. And existence itself means that there is no right or wrong. It exists. The only thing now to go from here is just to keep thinking miraculously. Because when we say that we want everyone to be healthy and happy, what does that look like? What do these 24 hours of the day look like for us, for me personally, or for you personally, when we say we want everyone to be happy? Is that something that we say, it's a very fancy thing to say, yes, I want everyone to be happy. Can you imagine a world which is free, where everyone is living with their own free will? completely aware of their soul design, taking care of all of the animals and brothers and sisters, and using technology to the advantage of spiritual evolution. The day we're able to imagine that world exists in the now. And Pyramid Meditation Channel Hindi is an opportunity for each and every one of us. For me personally, for Hindi, but for every single person who chooses to become part of Pyramid Meditation Channel, can explore this truth, this spiritual truth, that reality, that swarg on the heaven on earth exists right now. When we are able to think in that unlimited self, when we are operating from our higher self, when we are not limited by this physical construct of society that is around us. And the only way for that to happen is meditation. Meditation, not just in the 1 hour or the 1.5 hour or 2 hours that we do, but in every aspect of our life, where we are completely aware and living every single spiritual truth that we have expanded our intellect towards. So Patri sir says, no, body, mind, intellect, soul, and all that is. We have come to body, mind, and intellect through meditation. We are at the level of intellect. We're reading books. The very fact you're watching this video means you've expanded your intellect. Now we're on the stage of duty. We're in the stage of living that truth, the truth that has expanded our consciousness, and living that in our physical reality. And when we start to live that, we are living our highest self. There's no longer separation between our higher self and our lower self. We're always in that state. That state is the state that Patri sir always is in. And it's the best, most desired state to be in. So, and meditation is a gateway which gives us an opportunity to explore that reality. And I wish that everyone who is watching this video and chooses to watch this video in the future can join in, take the challenge of sitting with yourself. It's all of this knowledge started for a youngster like me who defied everything just because. Why should you do anything at all? Everything is pointless. Leading to why not? Okay, try karke dekhte hain. And now I know for a fact both why and why not exist. It's only a matter of choice. So you have a choice right now to ask yourself, why should you do meditation? And I ask you, why not do meditation? Give it a shot and explore and invite or live the adventure that your life truly is. Because it really is an adventure. Every day, there's no certainty of anything at all in your life. Internet will go off. I'm speaking with you from a media office which has over 5G internet connections. Still, it's getting disconnected. It's uncertain. So what? Enjoy the experience. You learn something new from it. It's always about how you choose to see the situation. So why not try meditation? Live life as the adventure as it really is. So thank you so much, Divya. Despite all the interruptions, I was able to see you on the other side of this this chat. And even despite the lag in the audio, I saw your expressions. It was wonderful. I got an opportunity to see what human emotions look like. So thank you for being a mirror for me, listening to my experiences. It was, and to all those viewers who are watching this video live on YouTube, thank you for choosing to stay here and giving yourself an opportunity to explore something new. Because why not? Simply ask yourself, why not? Yes. So we will now, for those who are also new, we can learn this new practice of meditation, which is very, very simple. We practice Anapanasati meditation. It's a word that is derived from the Pali language. Ana is the coming in of the breath. Apana is the coming out of the breath. And Sati is to be with. So Ana is going in, Apana is coming out, and Sati is to be with. So we simply have to be with our natural breath. So those who are wearing glasses can take them off. You can close your eyes, cross your fingers, cross your legs, and just watch your breath going in and coming out. Whenever any stray thoughts take you away from this moment, come back to your breath. Whenever your thoughts take you away from this moment, back to your breath. When our mind becomes steady, Last. Last 10 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Slowly open your eyes. Place the palms of your hand. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Open your eyes once you're ready. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alekia. That
for
was
choosing.
It was great listening to you, and a great source of inspiration. And as you're telling about eternity, about the things you felt, so it's like a picture coming in front of everyone's mind. We are literally able to feel, whatever you have gone through. So as you say, it's like we have undergone that. So we got the exact feeling. And it's nice that you restarted meditation. So starting initially, it's meditation has different facets. So there are a lot of benefits and it differs person to person. But at the end, why we are doing meditation? To realize our own self, our God self, that feeling of happiness inside. So restarting meditation for that was very nice. The kind of relaxation feel, and how much you can, if you're actually completely in the present moment, so how good it will be. And every moment you see the big picture of things, if you are in the complete awareness, that you beautifully, express that. And I'm sure one episode
Thank
is not
you.
enough, one session is not enough. And we want to hear all of your experiences, your knowledge. So you're definitely welcome to the 4th season also. From tomorrow it's starting. So thank you so much, friends, for joining us today. Tomorrow, let's again meet at the same time, 7:30 to 8:30. Spread maximum to all your social circles about meditation. This is something which we need to adapt in our daily life, should become a fundamental activity of a daily life. So thank you so much, Alekia, once again.
Thank you for having me. And to everyone else, keep meditating. Try करके देखो, अच्छा लगता है.
Yes. Thank you, friends. Bye, all.